Hi everyone, welcome to my latest video. This is the Timeranger appreciation video, and I brought up my Time Force figures to kind of represent. I know yellow is a female, but I don't have any Timeranger figures, and honestly I like my yellow rangers to be female. I'm so used to the whole two female dynamic. I know I slapped a skirt on yellow, and yellow technically doesn't have one, but I love the Gokai changes of these teams. I went ahead and I added a skirt on Time Force Yellow, Lightspeed Yellow. I didn't actually do one for Wild Force Yellow because yellow is such a dark color. I don't have like the right shade. But anyways, with that out of the way, I want to make another video. I watched Timeranger a few months back. Actually was meaning to make this video. I think I did actually make one for GoGo 5, just not for Timer, and I should have done it right away after I finished because all the information is fresh. So I don't think I need to put this out there, but spoiler alert, like there are gonna be spoilers. If you haven't seen Timeranger, this is not the video for you. I don't want to spoil anything, but there will be spoilers. So yeah, I still do have quite the memory of Timeranger. I do apologize though, please be patient, because I feel like some things in my memory might not be accurate, but I'll do my best. Now with Timeranger, I just loved their story. It felt like I was watching a soap opera with tons of story and drama, and I just loved it. One thing I love is the whole villain dynamic. We have Dol De Niro, which is the boss. Then we have Gian, who is the human turned into robot. Then we have Leela, who is like the pink-haired girl, the rich girl, with a bit of a complex. I liked how they were very different from Time Force. I mean, Time Force took their own route. They did Rancic, which was their own creation. They dumbed down Dol De Niro to Pluto, which I hated. I hate that they did that. I feel like he deserved more respect. They should have given him like a Ecliptor or Goldar rank and made him more important. Then we have Gian, who was turned into Frax. They were pretty much very similar. I like the Leela to Nadira dynamic. Leela was more of a rich girl who went in, tried to steal jewelry, money, and I can't remember if she was overly flirtatious. I can't remember. I think she did have a bit of that. But Nadira, who also did have a bit of it, it wasn't like over the top like Leela, but she also was like the daughter of Rancic, and Rancic was protective. So I did like the small shift of dynamic right there. And I love the whole story of how the scientist slash doctor became Gian versus Time Force. So let me explain. So we have Dol De Niro, and he's heavily injured, I believe. And Gian takes him in, helps him out, like he recovers and everything. Then there's a fire or explosion that nearly kills human Gian. So what he does is he creates this humanoid body, or not humanoid, sorry, a robotic body for himself, because I guess that's the only way he can keep going. And I guess Gian, like, not Gian, I'm sorry, I keep saying the wrong name, Dol De Niro, I guess takes him in, and because of how he's helped him out, and they continue their mission together. But the Time Force version always bothered me as a teenager, because I was a teen when it came out. I was like 12 or 13, and from what I remember, Time Force's story was that Rancic was this outcast of a mutant where everybody hated him because of his appearance. He also had some kind of strange skin disease that where like you have all this like metal or bone that keeps trying to appear. And so basically Frax takes him in, scientist and doctor, shows him compassion that nobody else has ever shown him, fixes him up, helps him out. What does Rancic do? Torches up the entire place and tries to kill him. And that's how he ends up as Frax. And that bothered me to no end because that made zero sense. So everyone hates you because of your appearance. The one guy that shows love and compassion and helps you out in your time of need, gives you a serum to keep whatever condition you have under bay, and your first thing is to attack and kill him. Like, how does that make sense? That makes zero sense to me. Even watching it originally, I was like, what were you thinking? Like, they could have taken it and taken it to a different direction completely and done something different. Like, the people who hate him come and they attack the scientist and they try to kill him. And Rancic helps him out to build the robotic armor and, like, I don't know, do something different that makes sense. So that story I loved, and I also loved how Dol De Niro is this like crime boss, and that he basically gives, yeah, he pretty much acts like a crime boss, like with Time Pink's father. Like, I think when he infiltrated one of his plans, so I can't remember if he had given, we were told Time he was blackmailing Time Pink's father. I can't remember the basis of it. But eventually, it turned out that something had happened, and he kills the entire family. Time Pink's family, father, mother. So like that was intense. I was in tears. That part of it, I was like, holy, like that's. I understand why they couldn't have used that for the Power Rangers side, but these when it comes to Sentai, they can show a lot of emotion, and the raw emotion that just comes out, especially the episode with Time Pink wanting to get closure and confront Dol De Niro, and then finding out that Jin has shot him and he's near death, and she never gets the answers that she wants and the closure. Hearing her scream and react, we're talking about a woman who is very conserved. Like, she doesn't show much emotion, or not conserved, reserved. And then seeing that episode, seeing the way she really reacted with raw emotion, it got to me too. You could really feel the pain and the hurt. And then there's Time Blue. Like, Time Blue, he's dealing with this like illness. I think it was caused by, I can't really remember. I think he said something like the time travel has given him the disease, or has allowed the disease to progress, something like that. I can't 100% remember. And how he's dealing with this burden of not knowing if and when he's gonna die, and then Time Red eventually finds out. And again, and to just let you guys know, I'm gonna be referring to them by color. I'm so bad with names. I can only remember Yuri, and I think that was Pink, and Naruto, Time Fire, and the rest I can't really remember. So it's easy for me to be like Time Red, Time Pink. So yeah, so there's that, and his love for cars. And honestly, I fell in love with Time Blue's story. Lucas just made no sense. A pretty boy who likes to drive and race. That was the end all for it. That was it. There was not much depth. I feel like they could have done more with Time Green. I didn't really learn much about Time Green. Time Yellow, to my understanding, he was some kind of like MMA fighter or a boxer or whatever. He had a good life, but he couldn't commit. Like, he commit in the sense that he couldn't make it. He was not punctual. He was just not making it on time, or end up losing his job for not really like being serious about it. I might be totally like BSing, because like that's what I can remember, something about Yellow, and I just feel like his story wasn't really like explored as much for it to be like remarkable. And Time Red and Wes's story were pretty much identical. I felt Time Red's more than Wes, because just the interaction with his parents, it just, I could really feel it. It felt like I was dealing with my own parents sometimes. Like, when I mess up and they have told me like, hey, this is what we think you should be doing, and I think like I know better in my younger days, then I have to face them. Like, I honestly felt like I was there way his parents were. And there was a one like event he went to, and how the father was like how dare you use the family name to enter this event, or something like that. Like, it was, it felt so real. And one thing I appreciate about Timeranger, which I think is this case for most Sentai, is that it feels very real. Like, they make do with what they have. Like, I think I think they just found some abandoned house, and they just tried to do what they can with it. Like, even Time Force, they did the same thing, and the finale was just amazing. I love it. I love this message that they give. Like, 'cause sometimes in life, you don't always get what you want, and you just have to make the most out of it. And it was just really sad seeing Naruto, who was always so dedicated and so, like, blinded by Time Red's father's company, that he was just blindly just following them. In the end, he found out he was just another number, and he was not really needed because they cracked the time fire device. And now, like, all of the all of the soldiers now have access to it. And yeah, it was just really sad once he realized that he was trying actively to make a difference. In the end, he was gunned down and killed. And I might be remembering this next part wrong, but I remember all four of them, they were forced to the future. They were handed the lives that they could have always wished for, like Time Pink, because the events of history were changed. Her family was never gunned down. She was able to grow old with them. Time Blue never had that illness. Time Yellow still what was that fighter. They pretty much all got the lives that they always wanted without all that burden. But in the end, for them, like, well, they could have been like, okay, cool, this is the perfect life for us. No, they somehow went back into the past. They cared more about their friend and saving the past. They got back, and I loved how they stood up for themselves by fighting back and not letting the original Time Red, like, hold them down and decide their destiny. Like, it was very profound. And I loved how Time Force changed that into their own thing. Like, the fight between the Time Force Rangers and Rancic, like, I loved it. Like, the demorphing effect, all that beaten up. Jen finally, like, confronting Rancic. What does she say again? Those words always stuck with me. My mission was to bring you back, and I promise I'm gonna do just that, or something. That raw, like, voice that an emotion from her. I loved it. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Be unique, but bring your own cool original idea. Like, that's a really good example of how they were unique, not just for the sake of being unique, but they actually had a really awesome story themselves. I'm really sorry about that, but there's that. But overall, Time Ranger blew me away. Would I say it's better than Time Force? For me, yes, because for me, when I watch Sentai, I love the whole drama. Because I'm a person that has a very bad attention span. Like, when a TV show ends and I'm like, oh, what do I watch? I can't just put on something new and just watch it. I get so bored fast. So when a show actually pulls me in with the drama, the intense story, I love it, because now I have a new thing to look forward to, keep watching. So, but with Power Rangers, sometimes I find it hard to keep watching from the beginning, because they have those cheesy filler episodes, and it takes a bit until they actually get to the main story, and sometimes I don't have that attention span. And Sentai, for the most part, I mean, it depends on the season, but for the most part, they grab me in right away, which I really love. Now, Time Ranger, I highly recommend. It's one of the best. I'm not saying it's the best, but from what I've watched, it's one of the best Sentai seasons I've watched. The best one that I've watched will always be Jetmon. I love Jetmon. Like, it was awesome. And a close one is Shinkanger. And so that was my review there. I love Timeranger. Like, if I had any criticisms, it's only the what I've already mentioned, how Time Yellow and Green and Blue to an extent, they could have had a lot more focus, because the other three, I feel like they got a heavy focus, and then those three just fell under the cracks. Like, yeah. So that's my overall feedback. Timeranger amazing, completely recommended. I also watched Ranger for the first time. I love it. I love it so much, but it didn't leave that much of an impression on me like Timeranger did, or Go 5, because they left a lasting impression that to this day I can remember like certain like stuff from those seasons. But Ranger, I want to do the same thing for Ranger, like get an appreciation of looking back at Ranger. But the thing is, I don't remember much about it, so that's why I'm saying it didn't really stick with me as the other two did. Anyway, so that's my video, and thank you guys so much for watching. And I actually pre-ordered the Memorial Edition Dino Buckler. I've never actually owned a Dino Buckler, only the Power Morpher versions of it. So this is gonna be really cool. It's coming beginning of December, so I can't wait to do a review on that. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. It really does help. And yeah, so that's basically it. Thank you so much and have a great day.